Why avoidance miss you in silence. Episode 2. After he pulled away, she tried to move on. At least that's what she told herself. She stopped sending messages, stopped checking her phone every few minutes, and, slowly, she began focusing on herself again. But what she didn't know was that he was struggling too. Not in the way she expected. Avoidants rarely show their emotions openly. They don't always call, they don't always reach out, and they rarely admit how much they miss someone. Instead, they stay silent. He would see something that reminded him of her. A song, a place, a memory, and for a moment he would think about reaching out. But then fear took over. Fear of vulnerability, fear of rejection, fear of losing control. So, he stayed silent. Days turned into weeks, and the silence became heavier. Because missing someone is painful, but missing someone while pretending you don't care is even harder. That's the part nobody sees. People often assume avoidants don't feel deeply, but many of them do, sometimes too deeply. There were nights when he almost called her, nights when her name appeared on his screen and he simply stared at it, not knowing what to say, not knowing how to explain why he disappeared. Because deep down, he knew she deserved an answer. He knew she deserved consistency. But every time he thought about reaching out, another voice appeared inside his mind. What if it's too late? What if she moved on? What if I get hurt again? And so he convinced himself that silence was safer. But silence has a cost. The longer he stayed away, the harder it became to come back. Every day added more distance, more unanswered questions, more regret. For a long time, she kept asking herself the same question. Did he ever truly care? Because when someone disappears, it is easy to believe that none of it was real, that the memories meant nothing, that the connection mattered only to you. But healing taught her something different. People can care about you and still be unable to give you what you need. People can miss you and still remain silent. People can love you and still choose fear over connection. That does not make their behavior acceptable, but it does help explain why some stories end the way they do. The hardest truth was not that he pulled away. The hardest truth was realizing she could not save him from himself. She could not heal his fears. She could not force him to communicate, and she could not build a relationship alone. For months, she believed that if she loved him enough, he would eventually return. But love does not work that way. You cannot love someone into becoming emotionally available. You cannot love someone into choosing growth. And you cannot love someone into becoming ready. That choice belongs to them, not to you. The moment she accepted that, everything began to change, because acceptance gave her something that hope never could: peace. And while he was fighting his fears, she was slowly rebuilding her life. Little by little, she stopped waiting. She stopped checking her phone, stopped creating excuses for someone who wasn't showing up. She started spending more time with friends, more time on her goals, more time becoming the person she wanted to be. And something unexpected happened. The more she focused on herself, the stronger she became. Healing doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop abandoning yourself for someone else. You stop chasing, you stop proving your worth, and you finally realize that love should feel safe, not confusing, because the right relationship doesn't leave you wondering where you stand. It doesn't disappear when emotions become real, and it doesn't require you to lose yourself just to keep someone close. You can understand someone's wounds, you can understand their fears, and still decide that you deserve better. Because understanding someone's pain does not mean accepting their behavior. And that's when she learned the lesson that changed everything. You can care deeply about someone and still choose yourself. You can love someone and still walk away. Because real self-respect begins the moment you stop waiting for someone to become ready. To be continued.